extend that love that we have to our brothers and sisters outside that what we call family in flesh? I told you a while ago, I am so thankful that this man called me a son, even though I am not his son in flesh. I lost my father 24 years ago. I was so young. But praise Father Yah, he gave me that inkling to stay forward. It is good when you have somebody in your back to build you up once in a while. Or we say, most of the time. You know, every time I need advice and I cannot understand what I'm going to say about it, that man is my speed dial. And I'm thankful for that because I have no father to lean on. And every time I need help, whatever, advice, financially sometimes. Did you know that it is so hard for a brother who are in need come knocking to your door and ask for help? It is hard. I experienced that. And then that man will tell you, I just gave you a couple of rice last week. You didn't even pay me yet. Then you're going to ask me for another rice? Did you know it's so hard to go and turn around and you're crying in yourself because what? You feel ashamed already. And then that's another thing when somebody sends you away. Did you know that each time a brother in need, did you not hear what our father said to Job? Oh, no, sorry, to Satan? What did our father said to Satan? Have you considered my servant Job? What if that needy brother who come knocking to your door, it's not him who is knocking, because it is written, when I was hungry, you feed me. When I was cold, you clothed me. When I was in prison, you visited me. When I am thirsty, you give me drink. And then the disciple says, Rabbi, Master, when did we see you hungry? When did you see you in prison? When did you see you in lack of clothing? When did you see you thirsty? And did you know what our Savior said? If you do these things to the mightiest of your brother, when you do these things to the strongest of your brother, is that what he said? No. When you do these things to the least of your brothers. I've been in America for 12 years. And Americans just so complain a lot. I've been assigned in the cafeteria one time, and I am crying inside because our students, are throwing away food every minute of the day. And I told to myself, in my country, they will fight for life just to eat that food. And I told my students, you are so lucky here in America because the government is babysitting you as if you are born with a silver spoon in your mouth. Come to my country and you will see what life looks like. We complain a lot here in this country. You complain a lot. Because I'm not in this country. Well, I'm glad that you adopted them for a while, isn't it, Pastor Isaac? But when we feel something as if it is the end of the world, golly, baby, did you not hear the word? There's no things or no trials that comes in you that's not happened to anybody yet. And if you think you are by yourself, remember Elijah, who think that he is by himself. He is crying. And he said, oh, I'm by myself. What our father said, no, you're not by yourself. I saved 7,000. So when we think that we are by ourselves because we are going something, my son said, if Father Yahweh wants you to have a little pain, why not? If Father Yahweh wants you to have these things for you to prove how much your worth is, do you think you can say you have a strong faith, have never been in any trials before? No, you cannot. Did you know the reason why a bonsai tree is a bonsai tree? Because that tree was reared on the top of the mountain when the most ferocious winds make their blows. And that bonsai tree just stand with itself. That's why you have a beautiful bonsai tree. That's how we prove our worth in our faith. Apostle James said, if you have that faith, show me your work. Because a faith without work is dead. And if you are stinking dead in my face, what shall I do with you? Can I use you? No, I cannot. I believe the Father is going to say that to us. And in everything we do, most of the time I told, sometimes ourselves kicks in. Oh, I did this, oh, I did that. That's why the word says, I never knew you. I never knew you. Which is true. Take a look in Proverbs chapter 9, verse 17. Well, you know, today is a leap year, isn't it? This is February 29. And I'm taking my time. You know why? This day only happens once every 28 years. So you will see me preaching like this again in 2048. So yeah, be in your seat. And what my son said, just enjoy the ride. In Proverbs chapter 19, verse 17, take a look at what is this. When you open your purse, when you open your hands, when you open your heart to a brother who is in need, take a look at this. If this is not going to give you a little, oh, I feel that. I don't know about that. I don't know about you. In Proverbs chapter 19, verse 17, he who shows favor to whom? To the poor, to the one who are in needs. What does it say? You are lending to whom? To the Almighty. And who is going to repay your deeds? He will repay your deeds. Woo! Do you remember King Hezekiah? When our father sent Isaiah, Yeshayahu, he said, Isaiah, go to Hezekiah. Tell him he's going to die tonight on his sickness. You know what Hezekiah did? Hezekiah turned around and looked at the wall next to his deathbed. You know what I said? Remember my good deeds. Can we have that audacity to tell our father if he will say and whisper the word, Isaac, you are going to die tonight. And I believe that man will say the same word, Father, remember when you brought me out on that dirt. Father, remember how I proclaim your name with mighty. Do you think, Father, our Father who are so merciful, we're not going to hear your words? If he did to Hezekiah, I know he will. And I know that man have been in that situation before. And I know how he was hurting way back those days. Remember my good deeds. Now imagine, you are lending to the one who created you. Can you imagine that he owns the whole world and he owes you something? Because that's what we do when we open our hands to our brother who are in need. You know the reason why our Savior is so focused on those people who are in need. If you are going to read the Bible from Genesis to Revelation, He loves the people who are in need. Why? Because these people don't know anybody to turn to except look up in the heaven. Because it is even written that if a brother look up in heaven and ask for help, and he send him to you, and you turn your back, and that brother will cry out to his Father in heaven. Hallelujah. The word says, what will you be if I turn my wrath in you? What will you be if I'll take away that first fruits that I gave it to you? What will you be if I change the situation and you are the one begging for help and somebody is knocking and you are the one knocking to somebody's door? What will you do? Are you not going to do the same thing and cry out for help from our Father in heaven? Yes, you will. When you feel that love of the Father, it will not be a big question of, am I going to give or am I not? When our brothers in the Philippines ask for our help, I ask myself, am I going to do it? I've never known the man before. I've never met him personally. But when he says he has the love of the Father, when he says he knows our Father Yahweh and he knows our Savior Yeshua, and they are doing the same thing, what we are doing, I know he is my brother. Because we are calling the same name. And that's what makes us the set apart ones. When we call the same name wherever they are, we should feel that compassion. Because when our Savior in Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 7. Take a look at this. When there is a poor man with you, one of your brothers, within any of the gates in your land which our Father in heaven, Yahweh, your Elohim, is giving you. What did he say? Do not harden your heart.